Hey there, everybody. This is Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and president of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, coming to you again with another one of our member Zoom chats. These are benefits for the members of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, and it's always so fun to be able to publicize what they're doing. And we have with us today Michel Meunier, who is the founder of Action Programs for Animals. It's great to see you, Michelle. I know that you've got paw prints there on the wall behind you,
Yeah.
the
Hi,
animal
Carrie.
calendar. It's so good to see you. How are you doing today?
We're doing good. Thank you for having us. I'm sitting here actually at our adoption center because I recently took running the adoption center back over too. So
Yeah, yeah, y'all had to say goodbye to Nora. Oh,
we did. She needs her time now for herself and my turn again. It's fine.
it's
We'll be
you know,
fine.
it's like riding a bike, right?
She's still volunteering at her and her husband for the Paws program. We're very grateful for that.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, tell me how and why did you start action programs for animals? I mean, I think it's
We
obvious
were,
because we
animal welfare back then, 15 years ago already, was very different here. At that time, the shelter was literally putting down more than 80% of the animals in the building. The idea and philosophies of no-kill animal sheltering were very foreign and new. And I was very much one of the first ones here drumming, beating that drum that we can do things differently, we can save more lives. And I tried volunteering everywhere and seeing if I fit in, and I just felt like no one really had the passion for that idea at the time. So I decided, even though I had a full-time government job, to start a nonprofit. And I'll tell you, some days I do kick myself and think of what if I had
uh, you have nothing else to do, right?
right.
Well,
So it was out of that, to try to mirror how we can do things differently and save more lives. Mhm.
and over those 15 years, though, I mean, when there were voids in being able to take care of our animals, there have been some groups that have stepped up, and
Yes, oh, definitely. It was just different time back then. Very
yeah.
different.
And
Yeah.
you all work together. SNAP is also a member of the Green Chamber. Safe Haven is
Yeah.
also a member of the Green Chamber. And you all have like the same goal is to reduce the pet population, the unwanted pet population, and help save and get them in their forever homes. And so,
It's definitely a takes a village, like they say. It's a cliche, but it's true. Everybody has to do their part, including people who are caregivers and own animals. Yes.
yeah. Well, and
Mhm.
how have you seen it change though? Because 15 years, that's a significant time, especially for a nonprofit. How have you seen it change?
Honest,
Because you've added some programs.
yeah, honestly, we have seen changes, but the one change that we haven't seen, which is hard for all of us, is that the intake is still very high at our municipal shelter. So we're all working really hard to save more lives, and we have turned those numbers around. So, now we're no longer putting down 80% of the animals, but the problem is the intake hasn't lowered too much. So what we did was we found partners to send animals to us in the shelter out of the area, learn how to, have more open and friendly adoption processes, use fostering. We take some of the dogs out of the shelter to our prison program to train them, make them more adoptable. All of these things help, and all the groups doing their part. But there's a lot of challenges still in our community. There's great need for upping that spay and neuter services for people that are affordable. The demand is there. We just need to find a way. Our municipal government still needs to find a way to meet the demand and get those numbers down,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, I
Mhm.
think Sherlock heard your voice.
There's Sherlock. Hi,
He,
Sherlock.
he used to be Peter Parker at your facility, and
Yes.
we went in to get him.
That
Uh,
was when we opened our first one. You were there for of course, the grand opening. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's appropriate that he's showing up. It's so funny.
Yeah.
He
It's
normally doesn't.
funny.
It's normally Watson who's always
One
like,
of our alums, we have those alumni that we focus on every Monday, and he's one. Yeah. The
yeah,
two.
he's a good boy. He's a big chunk, but we love him to death. And so with those programs, and also, we can't look at just one issue, right? With when it comes
No.
down to this, it's got to be. I always say it's like the wheel of a bicycle. Is that you've got your issue in the middle, and then you've got all of these different things. So, we need to spay and neuter our animals more. Trap and release, spay them.
Yeah.
There's the animal hospital that we need to try and get. So, Animal Companions of Las Cruces. I mean, you're all like addressing these different needs, but it's
Yes. Hmm.
still really hard. to be able to do, and it's not something that's going to be solved overnight.
No,
Uh,
it's endless work, it's like the population of humans that don't have homes either. It's endless work and challenges, I have ideas of how to put those two things together and maybe help each other, but I need a few $100 million to make that happen.
I
But
know, I know.
the issues are always going to be there, but how do we make it better? How do we lower those numbers coming into the shelter? That's the part that's not changed as much that keeps us so busy nonstop. Yeah.
Yeah, and really the key is spay and neuter your animals,
Yes, that's the first.
right? I
Mhm.
think I'd shared with Don Duncan from Animal Companions. And I remember this from when I was on the board at Snap, is like one cat can ultimately lead to 7,000 kittens. Is that still
Mm.
true?
Well, that's kind of like but that's if none of them are fixed, right? But
Right.
yes, like if you just have, no
Yeah.
sweetener. Yes, yes.
But it really shows, like, I mean, spay and neutering, which is
It's very important. Mhm.
and for some people it is expensive, and for others there are vouchers and there are things that are available, but that's the way to help keep the pet population down
Right.
so that unwanted animals that don't have their forever homes don't get put to death.
Yes.
And ultimately that's what we want to really try and avoid.
Mhm.
So you're celebrating your 15 years. I love that you're doing a quinceañera.
We're doing a quinceañera. I'm a Mexican American, so that's what I wanted to do.
Those
So
of us who aren't even Mexican American are, just
Mexican
it's
America, yeah. So
amazing.
we're gonna have a quinceañera with a cake and a big tree for people to pin the money on instead of a dog in a dress, because that would be fun. And
Yeah.
then we're gonna have, music and food. We're gonna be out here at our adoption center that day. It's our actual 15th birthday when we're having this celebration. That's our IRS letter date, September 22nd, 2009.
Oh,
So we're gonna have, a great little gathering here, like an open house block party with a DJ. Joey and Jackie from Hot 103 are volunteering to MC. We have pet photos with Tabitha Rossman photography. We have a folklorico performance at 2:30. Our Paws team is going to be here demoing the skills of our Paws dogs, and you can meet them. They're a wonderful team. You're going to meet us, meet our animals, building tours, just hang out for a little while with us, and not the whole time if you don't want to, but just stop by. It's a
pop
block
on
party.
by.
Yeah, pop on
And
by.
and you had mentioned the pause program. I just want to say how brilliant that is, because these are inmates at the correctional facility who are
Yes.
training dogs that other people would see as challenging. So you do a lot of
Yes.
pit bulls, and pit bulls get such a bad rap. They are the biggest teddy
Yes.
bears in the world.
We focus on the long-term shelter dogs. So our team goes out and goes to the AICMV. Anytime we have space open up, they go assess dogs for the program. We still have to assess them. We still have to make sure they're going to get along in the system. But, we always find candidates, and some of them are more challenging than others to train, but our trainers out there
Yeah.
have just been doing it for so long. We took it over in 2016, so we have good trainers. We actually have a former trainer who's an employee of ours right now.
Oh, awesome.
So we give people second chances too. So if
Hmm.
when they're released, if they want to come work for us and give it a try, we try to help them out too.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
So
great. And so with the big party that's going to happen on the
mhm,
22nd, and it's going to be taking place at 537 North Solano.
mhm,
And you can also follow them on social media because you can
mhm.
see all the different animals.
Yeah.
If folks aren't able to make it because it is fall and
Yeah. People have
busy,
things to do. Yeah.
yeah. So if they're not able to make it as we finish up today, how can they help APA in the work that you're doing in terms of getting animals into their forever homes, trying to keep the euthanizing rate down for animals?
Mhm.
How can people help what you're doing?
So our niche in helping the shelters, we try to help the most at risk and the ones that other groups can't help, like ringworm kittens and ringworm cats. They don't have a place there, so we take them out, we treat them. We have, wonderful, great plans for the next 15 years or more, but we need the community support. So we're asking people, the biggest birthday gift you can give us is just to become an APA monthly donor hero, even $10 a month. If everyone in our community who supports our work did that, we can, get our next thing we want to do is get a big cat building so we can increase the number of cats and ringworm animals that we can bring in, and support our thrift store. Our thrift store is actually turning 5 years
Life.
old. In October, Second Chance Thrift Store. So all the net proceeds from our thrift store benefit us and help us. You know, running a nonprofit, people don't realize, is like running a small business. So having sustainable, predictable funds is important. But as a nonprofit, you don't have that reliability because we're not getting state, local, any kind of funding from anyone. We have to raise everything that we earn. So we
Yeah,
just need,
you
yeah.
see a lot of nonprofits start what are called social enterprises, and those
Yeah.
are what you're doing as a business
Yes.
to provide, because it's really hard when you're a nonprofit. If you live by the grant, you die by the grant. So
Yes.
you don't want to do that. So I think it's great that you've branched out, and I remember when you started it and just how amazing it is. It's literally right down the street from me. So
Yeah. We've grown
um
a lot. We've grown a lot.
and you're expanding too, right? I
We're
think it's
expanding the store. We're moving into, or expanding it into the suite next to us. So it's like doubling the store size. And then we have enough room here at our adoption center. We have a big lot that's ours too next to us, and we have plans to stand up a building in there. The next time we get a major gift, we're gonna do that. And that's where the cats are gonna move to. And then maybe we can do more of helping the shelter. Other populations they have trouble with are puppies and moms with puppies, and we don't have space for that right now. So
Yeah.
having a place to move all the cats to would help us do that. You know, it's just a matter of having the funding to do it.
funding, right?
Mhm.
Right. Well, I think you're doing great work. Every time we look at Sherlock and Watson, we think of you.
Thank
When they're no longer here and they cross the Rainbow Bridge, we'll be talking to you
And you
again.
know, we always have some great cats available and kittens, so yes.
I know, and they're so cute. And people can volunteer as well if they want to. If they can't help
Yes,
financially, they
yep.
can volunteer.
They can volunteer here, come in when we're open, fill out, we match you to what you can do or feel like doing. Even if it's just to come socialize the animals, they need that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm so glad for you and what you're doing. And if you're interested in going helping Action Programs for Animals celebrate their Quinceañera, their 15th birthday, it's taking place on Saturday, September 22nd. It's a block party and an open house event.
Yeah,
It will be from 12 to 4 o'clock. Their adoption center is at 537 North Solano. And you can pop by anytime between 12 and 4 on that day and celebrate. And if you've got some pets that you would like to have pet photography with, you can do that and enjoy the music and the food and just the celebration. So thank you so
yes,
much for
thank
what
you.
you do. So grateful for you. And I'm hoping to stop by, but it's always lovely to see you and hear about what you're
Nice to
doing.
see
So
you. We
th-
thank you as well.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Michelle.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.